I'm waiting for my computer to catch up. There we are. We're on the live stream. Outstanding. Welcome to a new week of Bruce Hooley Shows. Glad to have you along. I don't know that I've ever had a show with as much interesting audio loaded and locked and ready for you than I do today. It is stuff that will inspire you. It is stuff that will confound you. It is stuff that will anger you, and it'll stuff that will entertain you. And I can't wait to get to all of it. But first, today is the day that the Trump administration will be back in court in front of a federal appeals court trying to say essentially, hey, could you let President Trump be president? I know you judges like to think you're the president, but you're not. And if you don't mind, since all 7 swing states, the popular vote and everything went President Trump's way, would you mind if he actually exercised the power the American people allowed him to obtain on November the 5th? This, of course, concerns the order by the U.S. District Judge last week. His name is James Boasberg, an Obama appointee, which said, hey, you cannot deport illegal alien Venezuelan gang members from the United States. In fact, those planes that are in the air right now, I want you to turn them around. I don't care if they don't have enough fuel to get back. Turn them around right now and land them. I want to know who's on that plane. And then he's issued, and they've been going back and forth, told the Trump administration they had to respond by a date. Trump was like, no, national security issue, not going to respond. You don't have the authority. And then last week, Boasberg was like, well, you can present your response under seal, which the Trump administration did, but was late doing, which, of course, didn't make the judge any happier. So today they'll be back in court. And it's sad to say, but I mean, preferable to say, although it should be needless to say, the numbers are in our favor because they're going to hear 3 judges this appeal today. And it shouldn't matter that 2 of the 3 judges were nominated by Republican presidents, with Judge Karen Henderson appointed by George H.W. Bush in 1990 and Justin Walker appointed by Trump in 2020. But it does matter because that is very sadly what our legal profession has become. It's not a matter of who has the law on their side. It's a matter of, what are my politics? Did I vote for President Trump? Did I not vote for President Trump? Which president appointed me? And therefore, whose side of the political aisle does my allegiance lie with? Now, I remember a saying, unfortunately, it's only a saying now, it's certainly not true, that justice is blind. Justice is not blind. Justice has become partisan. We saw it with the indictments of Donald Trump. We saw it with the prosecution of the January 6th rioters. Not all of them were unjustly prosecuted. If you hit a cop, if you destroyed a barrier, broke a window, you should be prosecuted for that. Just like you should be prosecuted if you storm a building on a college campus or threaten Riley Gaines or Ben Shapiro or somebody else at a speaking engagement and essentially kidnap them by holding them hostage in a building that they're not free to leave for fear of their personal safety. You and I both know those are not prosecuted the same way. The mostly peaceful, wink, wink, protests of the summer of 2020 were treated totally differently. Why? Well, because they occurred in blue states where COVID restrictions didn't apply to people who were out screaming, yelling, shouting. We don't have equal justice. And it's inevitable that if we don't recapture equal justice, we will not have a country anymore. We just won't. Now, listen, I want to be clear on this, okay? If the Trump administration deported these illegals in an illegal way, then they should not be allowed to do that. And they should be sanctioned for doing that. And you say, wait a minute, are you for illegal alien criminals who are a danger to the country remaining in the country? No, I am not. Because I'm confident in two things. Number one, I'm confident that while it may take more time than I would like for it to, there is a way to deport them that checks every box, even on the checklist of the most liberal judge. I'm convinced of that. Because A, they broke a law coming into our country illegally, and B, if they've committed crimes, I'm sure there are laws that say they can't stay here. So those are two of the reasons why I'm very confident. I said there were two. That's like two under the same umbrella. Here's the other reason. I'm confident that if, and I hope it's when, this matter of judges at the district level or common pleas level in Ohio, I decried the ruling of a Hamilton County judge stopping the enforcement of the 6-week heartbeat ban on abortions in the state of Ohio, not just in Hamilton County, but all over the state of Ohio. He could ban it. Ban the enforcement of it. Duly elected representatives of the people, that's you and me, in the state of Ohio, pass that law through the legislative process that's in the Ohio Constitution. But one judge in Hamilton County, Christian Jenkins, the unfortunately named Christian Jenkins, could stop the enforcement of that law throughout the entire state of Ohio. You know where he should be able to enforce that law? In Hamilton County, or stop the enforcement of that law in Hamilton County. Not in Claremont County, next door. Not in Montgomery County, up the road in Dayton. Not in Miami County, a little bit further north. Not in Franklin County, in Hamilton County. That's it. And if Judge Boasberg or some other judge wants to issue an injunction, okay, have at it. But within your jurisdiction. Within your jurisdiction. You do not get to dictate to other people your liberal bias. And you certainly do not get to tell the elected president of the United States how he can conduct immigration policy throughout the United States. Because if he can, that would be a problem. Because Judge Boasberg would in effect be the president, and no one voted for him. Oh, the Democrats are very upset. They're very upset that no one voted for Elon Musk. And we've got to impeach Elon Musk, which is a little difficult because, going back to your argument, no one voted for him. So he's not impeachable. Okay? But this is ridiculous that we have to research, who appointed the judge? What non-governmental organization does his wife work for? How many USAID dollars has his family benefited from? And then we don't even have to. Why do we have a hearing when we already know how it's going to end? So I don't want to just flesh out my thought. I don't want Trump or Pam Bondi or anybody working for Trump. I do not want them to be able to say, without the backing of law, that person is dangerous. That person is a threat to our national security. That person can be incarcerated and deported. If they don't have a case they can prove in court, on appeal, or at the Supreme Court level, I do not want them to be able to deport those people, because I do not want a future Democratic president to deport me because I'm an evangelical Christian and I want to share my faith with someone and they deem that to be dangerous to the United States of America. Okay? So that's why the Trump administration has to do this legally. And I'm not saying they did it illegally. I think the Alien Enemies Act is a perfectly fine law to use to deport Tren de Aragua gang members. I think it frosts the Democrats that they got checkmated on this, right? They got checkmated. Because, of course, they hate old laws. The Constitution, out of date. Remember the reporter who asked Tom Homan? Oh, they're kind of using an old law there. And Homan's like, it's not as old as the Constitution, and we still use that. Yes, much to the chagrin of Democrats since Woodrow Wilson, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and on and on and on. So They're back in court today. And it's 2-1 in our favor. And I sure wish I didn't have to say that. But that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. We cannot count on justice being blind. And again, that is bad, because if we continue down this road, then all of our other rights are going to be in peril too. Our rights to assembly, peaceful protests, freedom of speech, and everything else. If it hinges on who wins the presidency and which judges will enact policy, not according to the law.
It'll be a windy afternoon, a high today at 55. Clear to partly cloudy tonight and a low 35. Clouds for tomorrow, the high 50, and then clouds to shower in the area tomorrow night. It'll be a cold evening, low 29. For Wednesday, clouds in the morning, partly sunny with the afternoon, high Wednesday at 49. And then clouds on Thursday and Friday, high Thursday 56. Friday's high at 65. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
I'm CPA Brad Hennebert with Premier Tax CPAs, and the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial and tax planning and other major business decisions, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. We'll prepare a comprehensive tax plan to maximize your deductions and minimize the tax you pay, and present you with money-saving options you may not have ever considered. We'll update your financial position each quarter, so there are no nasty surprises at tax time. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have consultations with our clients throughout the year, because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can work with you and your business throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at Premier Tax CPAs at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Patriots, an event you don't want to miss. March 28th and 29th, Stay Awake America Tour, Delaware, Ohio. Experience the electrifying Christian rock band Casper McLeod, plus 21 powerhouse mega speakers. 2 days where music, health, and action collide to unite and engage America to stay awake. Limited seatings, don't delay. Get your tickets today. Text 786-520, 7876, 786-520-7876. Be a part of the movement. Stay Awake America. It's time. America needs you. Your dog's diet should be as colorful as yours. Dr. Fido's is a dog food topper made with 40 ingredients made from whole foods, designed to enrich your dog's diet with a variety of fruits, vegetables, spices, and fibers. And the best part, just stir into their food and you're done. It's that easy. Go to drfidos.com and subscribe now to save $20 each month. Vet developed, dog trusted. This is the human grade dog food topper that gives you peace of mind. Don't just take our word for it.
She's an Australian cattle dog on the farm. She's been used to work cattle and lots and lots of miles under her feet, and she is happier on the Dr. Fido's. I've been super impressed with this.
Don't miss out. Go to drfidos.com today and subscribe now to save $20 each month. That's drphytos.com. Don't settle for less. Your dog deserves the best. That's why we created Dr. Fido's, a plant-based dog food topper packed with 40 ingredients made with whole foods from carrots to bananas. And the best part? No cooking, no chopping, just stir it into their food. Go to drfidos.com and subscribe today and save $20 a month. Vet developed, dog trusted. This is the human-grade dog food topper that gives you peace of mind. Dogs can't write 5-star reviews, but their owners have.
I've always thought that dog food seems like a little bland, and so this helps give it a little bit of flavor, just something interesting for them, and yeah, they really love it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Go to drfidos.com and subscribe to save $20 each month. That's drphytos.com.
We creep ever closer to the sold out sign over the logo at 9890answer.com advertising the April 25th Night with Larry Elder at Der Dutchman Restaurant. I mean, you can keep waiting if you want to. It is 1 month and 1 day away today. And as I say, we are creeping closer to all the tickets being gone. We are limited in the number of people that we can cram into the Der Dutchman because we want to make it a great night. We want to have 2 buffet lines so you won't wait in line forever for your food. The food at Der Dutchman, of course, is fantastic. The conservative talk on stage with Larry Elder, our guest, the sage of South Central LA, host of the Larry Elder Show, the, according to the LA Times, blackface of white supremacy, which you know you're getting to the LA Times if you're doing that. So you're going to love that night with Larry Elder, but you got to be there. You got to buy your tickets at 989theanswer.com. Buy them today. So we hope we win today in court. This is silly that judges can have more power than the president of the United States. But again, I don't mind litigating this case because I'm confident that President Trump will win on the merits, although I'm less confident given the crazy rulings occasionally from Amy Coney Barrett, John Roberts. And look, they've all disappointed us. Gorsuch and Kavanaugh have disappointed us at times. Jim Jordan, congressman for many of you, will keep his eye on the ruling today out of the federal appeals court, where they will try to get Judge Boasberg, the district court judge's order, reversed. He's not the only one, by the way. U.S. District Judge Theodore Chang, an Obama appointee, as is James Boasberg, is the guy who tried to block Trump from dismantling the U.S. Agency for International Development. U.S. District Judge Anna Reyes, a Biden appointee, is the judge who said that, no, you can't keep transgender people from serving in the military. And U.S. District Judge Tonya Chutkin, there's a name from the oldies hit parade. She was the judge who greenlit Jack Smith's investigation, persecution of Donald Trump. Tonya Chutkin, an Obama appointee, has gotten in on the act by blocking the attempt to end $148 million in grants to 3 Biden climate change groups. This is why Jim Jordan has plans for these federal district judges.
We're going to have hearings on all of that because particularly when you look at Judge Boasberg, it starts to look like this is getting totally political from this guy, particularly when you remember he's also the judge who was part of the whole Trump-Russia FISA court granting those warrants that allowed the FBI to spy on President Trump's campaign. So we're going to look at that issue as well. But hopefully we can get that bill passed next week on the House floor, move it to the Senate, hopefully get it to the president's desk.
Yes, hopefully we can. But the other option that Jim Jordan and Republicans are thinking about is a dead end. They're thinking about legislation. Okay, great. You can here's as far as legislation will go. Okay, legislation will maybe pass the House because we've got a slim majority there. They're probably, I don't know. Mike Johnson's done some magic in the House. He's gotten all the Republicans to stick together. But quite likely, well, I shouldn't say quite likely. It's possible. In fact, I would say it's highly possible. You'll have a few Republican defectors on this because they'll think, well, rule of law, can't go along with it. Trump may be able to pressure him into voting for it. But it's dead then. Because there's no way you're going to get 60 senators to vote to bring it up for a vote in the Senate because they know that it will pass in the Senate. And they have to do that stupid thing where we're going to vote on whether we should have a vote. It's called cloture. It's idiotic. We have 53 Republicans, but guess what? We need 60 votes to have the vote, to approve the vote. So legislation is not going to go anywhere. I'd rather they not waste their time trying. I get it. It's a way to say, look, we wanted to, we tried to, we passed it. All right, great. Meanwhile, you're wasting all our money on something that's never going to reach fruition. Here's Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, who says she is undeterred in the attempt to deport illegals.
We are going to fight back and we are going to win. And the Supreme Court will be ready to hear these cases. You know, again, these are federal district judges who are trying to control our nation's agenda. And yes, President Trump won the popular vote by an overwhelming majority. The people of America want change. And these judges just, they are losing, and they realize that, and we are going to win.
Okay, well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because I do want the illegals out. I want them out legally, because I don't want to be deemed someone who a future Democratic president can just say, oh, I don't like what he tweets. I don't like what he tweets at all. I don't like that he's evangelical. So let's just deport him because, you know, he's a danger to the country. Did we see that kind of thing with a disparity in the prosecution of pro-life advocates prosecuted during the Biden administration? Or the nutcases who were for child sacrifice and for transgender mutilation surgeries? Did we see them prosecuted? No, of course not. So that's where you can go if you just decide, well, I mean, in our case, we believe these illegals are dangerous. Let's get rid of them. We don't need the law because they're no, we need the law. We got to have laws. We are a nation, used to be, a nation of laws, okay? And here's Victor Davis Hanson, a voice always worth listening to, on the strategy Democrats are employing here to undermine the mandate that Trump received in the election.
So then what happens is these NGO, if I could use that word, non-government organizations, foundation supplied funded groups, so-called nonprofits, they get together and they have a list of all of the critical legal theory liberal justices. And they know on their computers exactly what their rulings are on their scales of liberal jurisprudence. So then they pick that particular judge and then they sue, and he puts a restraining order. He knows it will be either overturned at the federal appellate court, or it will be overturned at the Supreme Court. But that's not the point. The point is that they can obstruct for 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months. Then the left goes into hysterical mood and says that this is a constitutional crisis.
Everything is.
Because the judge have had to stop this autocrat, Donald Trump, when they don't realize that if you read the Constitution and the powers reserved for the executive branch, there was never any idea that isolated judges could be cherry-picked to stop an elected president from following the law and enforcing the law. But that's where we are.
Yeah, that is where we are. And you know that for the longest time, in fact, it's been a very recent development, that when you go and vote in whatever election you vote in, judges have to declare their political party. For the longest time, I bet, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. If I'm totally wrong by decades, I'll look like a fool. But I'm going to bet you that the political affiliation of judges on ballots is a thing that's happened since the year 2000. Let's see. Let's ask our friend DuckDuckGo. Let's see. I'm typing. Political. Might not have time to get it before the top of the hour. Let's see. See, disclosed on ballots. And the answer is not clear. I'll research it during the break and tell you when we come back.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to halt a lower court ruling ordering the rehiring of thousands of federal workers. They were let go in firings across several agencies. In today's emergency appeal, the
nonpartisan election of judges, where judges are chosen as of April 24th, 13 states at the state Supreme Court level and 19 below the Supreme Court level. And the other one is partisan election of judges.
Partial ceasefire for Ukraine.
As of April 24th, 8 states and 22 below.
The NASDAQ trading 375 points higher. More
No, this is partisan, that's nonpartisan.
Financing a home, especially in today's market, is one of the biggest decisions you'll make for your family. Work with a mortgage company that puts you first. I do. Work with a lender founded on biblical principles like do unto others as you'd have them do
Ohio.
unto you.
I should Google that in
Mike
Ohio.
Gallagher for the only mortgage company I've used for almost a decade now when financing or refinancing Fellowship Home Loans. I'm friends with the owners, Mike and Brian. I even have them on my show occasionally. I know the care their team puts into every single customer.
2022.
I can personally tell you that it's a smooth, stress-free process. And that's due to Fellowship's level of service and expertise that puts you in the right loan for your family and your goals. There's a reason Fellowship Home Loans is flooded with 5-star reviews. Whether purchasing a home or a cash-out refi to consolidate some higher interest debt, you can trust Fellowship Home Loans.
So
Make the call, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by
Pat DeWine's a Democrat? That can't be right.
Because truth is not a left-wing value, and the left lies as easy as you breathe. You need the clarity and wisdom of Dennis Prager every weekday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
This March and April, Temperature Pro is turning up the heat on Kindness.
2022.
Every pack of diapers our team picks up during a service call will make a contribution to Bottoms Up Diaper Bank, helping families in need right here in Central Ohio. When we come to service your HVAC, you can help too. Just have a pack of diapers ready.
There it is. 2022. I was right.
And together, we'll make a difference, one diaper at a time. Need a repair, tune-up, or new system? Call Temperature Pro, proud supporter of Bottoms Up Diaper Bank.
Everybody's probably afraid of something, whether that fear is rational or
irrational. Who's this guy?
I'm Bruce Hooley, here to tell you good news that if you were afraid that the MyPillow mega sale was going to go away before you could take advantage of it, well, MyPillow has extended the mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, you can save $40 on new spring MyPillow bed sheets in any size and any color. Save 30% on the brand new Mike Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one Mike has worn every day for over 20 years. And they do come in men's and women's styles, and they're made right here in the USA. You can get the 6-piece bath towel set for only $39.98. The initial qualities are low, so get them now before they go. And the best-selling standard MyPillow is just $17.98. Take advantage of the Mega Sale 2.0. Go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Bruce. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. Don't forget, you get free shipping on orders of over $75 or more. So do it now. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
Don't forget, Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com is a great place if you're weighing college decisions for your student, getting ready to host that graduation party in a couple of months, but then after that, you don't know what your kid's going to do. Well, if you're looking for a great school, one where they can attend and come back the same or better than you sent them out the door in the fall, then don't send them to a woke university. Send them to one that is solid, grounded in biblical truth, and one that is a lot cheaper than it otherwise would be if you didn't go to the Discount Shopping Club. I'm talking, of course, about Ohio Christian University and Valor Christian University, both right here in the Central Ohio area, where you can purchase a $5,000 tuition discount for just $2,500. How do you do it? You go to 989theanswer.com and you click on shopping, and then you get a drop-down menu that offers you Discount Shopping Club certificates, not just to schools, Mac Mattress Outlet, other businesses. Need a furnace for the home? Temperature Pro Columbus makes those available. Check it out. Discount Shopping Club, 989theanswer.com. Now, you probably, occasionally, have seen something on, I don't know, maybe 60 Minutes, an investigative show where there's a hidden camera, okay? And the hidden camera records something that is later used to prove the occurrence of something that you would have a more difficult time proving if you didn't have what happened on camera, right? I mean, this is why we have all cops wearing body cams, right? Because this was a thing that developed out of the accusation that all cops were racist and that they were strong-arming people who they arrested. So they wear body cams, and they are required to turn their body cams on because we want to know what they're doing and how they're doing it, making sure they're doing it according to the standards of their particular law enforcement agency. So I thought of that when I saw this story today in the Dispatch by Shahid Magan. Headline, Columbus is on track to spend more than $6 million on ShotSpotter. But is it worth the cost? Now, if you don't know, ShotSpotter is a technology that when there's gunfire in certain areas of the city, which has ShotSpotter microphones, the cops are like, uh-oh, there's gunfire in Linden. There's gunfire on Parsons Avenue. There's gunfire on the east side. There's gunfire in the Hilltop. And what does that do? It notifies them before someone can call it in. Maybe nobody calls it in. Like, after all, if you lived in one of those neighborhoods, you hear people say all the time, what do they say? And gunfire every night, right? So let me ask you this. How many times when a car alarm has gone off, have you called the cops? Hey, I'm in the parking lot at Polaris, and there's a car alarm going off. Have you ever done that? Nobody does that, right? Why? Because we hear car alarms all the time. We tend to ignore it. Well, the same principle applies to ShotSpotter technology, but I'll tell you who doesn't ignore it. The cops. The cops don't ignore it. And the numbers show that the cops get to these places much sooner because immediately they are immediately notified by dispatch when there's gunfire coming from a dangerous part of the city. Now, they don't have ShotSpotter microphones in every part of the city because the person who'd be monitoring the gunfire in Upper Arlington could sleep the night away, right? Okay. So I was intrigued by the headline right away. Columbus is on track to spend more than $6 million on ShotSpotter. I didn't even need to read the rest of the headline to go, that's a negative headline. Like, they're belly aching. Somebody's belly aching. Not necessarily Mr. Magan, not necessarily the Dispatch, but somebody's belly aching about the expenditure of $6 million on ShotSpotter. And then, of course, it was confirmed by, but is it worth the cost? Now, you should know, and I'm shocked by this, City Council has already approved spending the money to extend ShotSpotter. So I'm stunned, okay? I'm stunned. I gotta have to stop saying that Columbus City Council has never made a smart decision, because that is a smart decision. That is a smart decision. A lot of dumb decisions, mostly dumb decisions. In fact, I'd say right now, all but one stupid decisions. This is the one. But who are the people that think ShotSpotter is a bad expenditure? Let me just read from the story. Talks about a neighborhood, Driving Park neighborhood, descended into chaos when bullets began tearing through a house in November. A 2-year-old boy inside was struck by a bullet. It took more than 90 seconds before someone was able to dial 911. Thanks to hidden microphones throughout the East Side neighborhood, police knew about the shooting before anyone reported it. Now, if you had a 2-year-old and they were shot, would you want the cops and the medics to have 30 seconds more notification, 60 seconds more notification, 90 seconds more notification? Or would you say, it's no big deal. I'm sure they'll get here soon. Right? You'd want them there as soon as you could. And they got there as soon as they could, thanks to ShotSpotter. But there are those who think that spending $6 million to put ShotSpotter microphones in Linden, the Hilltop, South Side, Near East Side, Wedgwood apartment, is not a good expenditure for the city, which I might remind you, referring back to those previously bad city council decisions, $100 million for a bike path. And weren't we talking Friday? Yes, we were. About the city being really, really mad and suing the Trump administration for denying the city a $400,000 grant to plant trees in Linden. So let me get this right. We're going to spend almost $500,000 to plant trees in Linden, but the exact same amount of money, $400,000, does about a square mile of ShotSpotter in Linden. What do you want, trees or microphones? I'll take the microphone, please. I can drive to the country if I want to sit in the shade. Quoting from the story, some criminal justice experts, they're experts, and researchers say the detection system is expensive and ineffective at preventing gun violence. That phrase struck me. The microphones that detect gunfire are under criticism because the microphones that detect gunfire don't actually do anything, according to the critics, to reduce gun violence. That would be like, going back to the way I started this segment, saying that the hidden cameras that are in a location when two politicians agree to take a bribe for something, the hidden cameras which capture the actual act of taking the bribe, they don't really do anything to prevent the politicians from taking the bribe. No, they don't. No, they don't. I will concede that. I will concede that ShotSpotter does nothing to prevent violence. Is that its job? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But listen to the experts. Terrence Hinton, a criminal justice and sociology professor at Ohio State. Something like ShotSpotter is more of a Band-Aid. It's a small component. The response times can be quicker. That's what it's for, Terrence. But it doesn't address the root cause of gun violence. No, it doesn't, nor is it designed to. I mean, it's just astounding to me. Experts have warned that the lack of regulatory guardrails over police technology like ShotSpotter in the hands of police departments leaves it open to possible abuse and mismanagement. Huh? What? How? This is nuts to me. Wait, there's more. While city leaders have touted a 17% decline in homicides last year, Terrence Hinton pointed out that neither the mayor nor City of Columbus police have credited ShotSpotter as a contributing reason. Is it entirely possible that if a cop arrives at a scene 90 seconds before they otherwise would? 90 seconds, no, not 90 seconds before, 90 seconds before they called 911. Is it entirely possible that a cop could arrive, offer medical aid, apply a tourniquet, and maybe save a life, and that might be why people aren't dying and thus are not classified as homicides? I just asked a question. Jasmine Ayers, a community activist who has lived in North Linden for 2 years. She's an expert. She's 32 years of her life. She didn't live in Linden. Been there 2 years. She's an expert. Said, well, there may be some benefits to ShotSpotter. She questions its value. I can guarantee you that community members prevent more shootings than ShotSpotter. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Yes, because very often the members of the Linden community are the people doing the shooting. Yes, they would do more to prevent shootings than ShotSpotter. Is there any sane person in this issue? Yes, here he is, Ralph Carter, founder of We Are Linden. He told the Dispatch that he thinks ShotSpotter is a worthwhile investment and that he, along with other community members, would like to see it expanded into other parts of Columbus. More quoting Ralph than quoting Terrence and quoting Jasmine. Ralph's got it figured out. Terrence and Jasmine, not so much. It is utterly amazing how some people are so stupid.
For Wednesday, clouds in the morning, partly sunny with the afternoon, high Wednesday at 4, and then clouds on Thursday and Friday, high Thursday 56, Friday's high at 65. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Are you a writer who's devoted your time to writing a book with Christian morals behind it but need help to get it published? Maybe you wrote a children's book, your memoirs, a devotional, or a mystery with strong moral values at its core. Covenant Books has helped faith-based authors publish, edit, and sell their books through Christian bookstores and major online book retailers. Plus, if you call now at 800-255-9500, we're offering a free writer's guide to help you through the publishing process. Our experienced and dedicated staff will review and notate your manuscript with an editor's eye. Then our page designer
designers will format your book to create the appropriate experience for your readers. And if needed, Covenant's talented illustrators will bring your book
Where's
to
my
life.
Blossom Brown
Covenant Books will help tell your story by
research?
printing, marketing, and distributing your book through specialty Christian bookstores and major online book retailers like Amazon, Apple, and many others. Covenant Books. Let us help tell your story. For your free writer's guide,
Don't fall for that.
800-255-9500. That's 800-255-9500. 800-255-9500.
You can publish your book on Amazon.
If you're a business owner and a listener to this station,
They'll do it for you. Send it right to you.
conservative news and talk content that you
Cost you
enjoy
far less.
advertiser supported. Our loyal audience loves
Out of
doing
Staples.
business with the advertisers who make our programming possible. Now, it probably won't surprise you, but there are some advertisers who avoid us because they don't like what we do here. And that's okay, because our listeners are eager to support advertisers who support our conservative programming. Join the successful companies who reach customers who care about this programming. Become a part of making a difference in the lives of people who listen and who are passionate about supporting the great family of advertisers who are part of this station. It's truly a perfect match for you and for them.
To learn how to reach our audience with your business's message and support this station, contact Carolyn Cassidy at 614-318-0401 or click on the Advertise With Us banner at 989theanswer.com. That's 989theanswer.com.
History, economics, the great works of literature. Did you study these things in school? Probably not. Or even if you did, maybe it's time for an enjoyable refresher. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses, including their newest course on totalitarian novels. In this free 8-lecture course, you'll learn from Hillsdale College president Larry Arnn as he goes in depth on 4 novels: 1984, Brave New World, Darkness at Noon, and That Hideous Strength. I love all 4. Even though these novels, written in the 1930s and 40s, they're highly relevant today as they show what a tyrannical government does to human nature. More importantly, they can show us that faith, family, and friends are worth fighting for. Maybe you read these books a long time ago in school. Maybe you've heard others talk about them, and they seem a little intimidating. But Hillsdale College, America's greatest college, helps you make the most of them. Go right now to charlieforhillsdale.com to enroll. There's no cost, and it's easy to get started. That is charlieforhillsdale.com, CHARLE for Hillsdale.com.
There's a threat targeting America: Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, this dangerous disease can cause life-changing health problems and is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. So it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside and seeing a doctor if you experience the warning signs, which can include joint pain and flu-like symptoms. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Oh, I met some delightful people yesterday, and we discussed the new flooring project for their home, and they were astounded that I was willing to meet them at our showroom on a Sunday because we're normally closed on Sunday. But hey, I live so close, and I love interacting with fans of the show, and they were fans of the show, that I'm more than willing to meet you when it's convenient for you. It's just part of me servicing you on your flooring projects. If you need carpet, if you need luxury vinyl plank flooring, I had a delightful time on Saturday with my friend John. Beautiful new condo. You're lucky to have John as a neighbor in the neighborhood where he is moving. And we're going to get John hooked up as well. I'd love to help you. And I want to express my appreciation for how kind you all have been to embrace the endeavor that I engage in while I'm away from the airwaves. It's definitely needed for the financial bottom line, and it's definitely a joy for me to serve you. So if you need flooring, I'd love to be considered for your project. Go to brucehooley.com and click flooring, brucehooley.com and click flooring. As I've said, I got a ton of great audio today, and I haven't gotten to much of it right now. The news stuff is not the great audio. The great stuff is some of what I'm going to play in this segment, and some of which I'm going to play on the other side at the top of the hour to own the libs, as they say. The libs being Ezra Klein of the New York Times and Bill Maher of the Club Random podcast and the Bill Maher Show. So let's start with, though, first of all, a discussion on Piers Morgan's show on CNN. He has 2 guests on, which is pretty common format in television. He has Riley Gaines on. What do you think she's talking about? keeping men out of women's sports. Yes. And then the other guest is named, I'm trying to be precise here, Blossom Brown. Now, Blossom Brown is a man who is appearing as a woman. So he is, see, I can't get through it without screwing up, sorry. He is a trans woman. What does trans mean? Fake, right? So Blossom Brown is a man. And Blossom Brown, according to my research, is an actress, producer, and activist. Okay, wonderful. Blossom Brown is speaking and saying stupid things, which of course Blossom Brown is saying stupid things because Blossom Brown has a disconnect between Blossom Brown's biological reality and Blossom Brown's cognitive awareness. Thus, Blossom Brown has a mental illness. Thus, of course, Blossom Brown is saying stupid things like this.
Now you can respond. Women cannot be racist to white women. Are you kidding me?
Sorry?
That makes no sense.
Sorry?
Black women cannot be racist to white women. Do you not understand that?
Oh, yes, they can.
You don't have to intellectual
Oh, yes, they
capacity
can.
to understand that.
Oh, yes, they
But that's
can.
very much
And you've been
impossible.
racist to me.
That's very much
You've been
impossible.
racist to me, a white man, by saying I'm a race baiter. Yeah.
How am I racist to you? I'm black. I can't be racist
You
to
call
you.
me a race
Are you
baiter
kidding
with
me?
no
You're racist
evidence.
To me.
When have I
You
been a
can be
race
racist-
baiter?
You can be racist to me.
When have I been a race
But
baiter?
I'm a powerhouse.
Tell me when I've been a race
I'm a
baiter.
powerhouse. At this point, I'm just here to talk about trans women in sports. I said
Okay.
what I said.
So you don't have
And I
anything,
to-
do you?
No, except a mental illness. Now, Blossom Brown has a mental illness. Blossom Brown, if you missed it there, said black women cannot be racist to white women. And then later, Blossom Brown acting very offended when Piers Morgan said, "You've been racist to me." Blossom Brown said, "I'm black. I can't be racist to you." So black trans activist Blossom Brown is 100% convinced that he cannot be racist to white women or white men. Okay. Now, you've no doubt seen other crazy people like Blossom Brown who are not transgender, but are, advertising they're crazy with, in this instance, a woman with a ring in her nose and purple hair. She is and she is on a college campus in Los Angeles, and she spots a sign. I don't know what the sign said, but it was a sign that she didn't approve of. And so she grabbed the sign out of the person holding its hand and proceeded to destroy the sign, which was observed, unfortunately, for the woman with the ring in her nose and the purple hair, by a campus policeman who decided that this was unacceptable behavior and was going to run her down and arrest her and ask her why she did what she did. Here is her justification.
He told you to stop. It's right there. All right, so what just occurred?
He's making me mad.
Uh-oh.
Okay, did you damage his sign?
I have it on
video. No,
I can see that you guys have it on video.
All right, do you have an ID on you?
Yes.
Violation of student policy.
Oh my god. So what's going to happen?
She asked a good question. What's going to happen? They have her on video destroying the sign, and she has to produce her ID, and she has to face the music, okay? And this guy explains, well, what you've done is against the law in the state of California, and you are going to do a minimum of 6 months in prison. At which point, she realizes the gravity of her situation and begs for something that she, let's just say, failed to extend to the person holding the sign in the first place.
After good behavior, 6 months in community service, the judge will drop it.
I am a full-time student. I'm coming back here in the summertime.
Nope. Next time you'll think not to do it.
Dude, like you can't find any like peace in your heart and understanding.
Ah.
I will tell the judge. Yeah, I will tell the judge.
Peace and understanding.
And he'll drop the charges after 6 months and you do community service.
She's weighing her
It
options.
really does cause a damper in my studies and my future, though.
Oh, we wouldn't want
Don't you
that.
think?
What I wanted to do.
Don't you think it kind of gets in the way of like me growing and becoming as an individual? Like I still have yet to learn. Maybe one day I'll change my mind.
It's a teachable moment.
What is a teachable moment?
This right now.
You don't offer like second chances, redemption.
It's too late now. I mean, seriously.
It's not too late.
No, it is.
It's
No,
not too late. It's actually not.
You had a chance not to do what you did.
Ah, sage words of advice from the police officer. It's going to really put a damper in her studies to go to prison, she says. It gets in the way of me growing as a person. Oh, I hate to tell you guys this. You don't have a camera. You can't see. But my producer, Jeff, is laughing at her plight, which proves Jeff is, an uncaring individual, as am I. It's probably my fault for corrupting him as he listens to the show every day. What else do I have? You say, wait a minute, is this Today and Crazy? No, it's not. We got plenty for that too. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, always a fertile field to find crazy. You heard Tim Walz last week saying that there's an app on his phone where he can track the plummet of Tesla stock, 47% down, although now the Trump faction of America is striking back. There's a certain model of Tesla that's sold out in like 12 states because Trump people who have the means are going out and buying Teslas right and left to support Elon Musk. But remember, we made fun of Tim Walz last week because he was rejoicing in the descent of Tesla stock, even though his state pension fund owns 1.6 million shares of Tesla. So he's rooting against the state employees. Now, Tim Walz said he was making a joke when he made a comment last week mocking Tesla. He says that people misunderstood. It was all just part of a kidding. He says they're all heard about the Tesla thing. They don't care about the disrespect they've shown to employees at the Minneapolis VA who care for our veterans, blah, 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 blah. Imagine a life where he was our vice president.
Your dog's diet should be as colorful as yours. Dr. Fido's is a dog food topper made with 40 ingredients made from whole foods, designed to enrich your dog's diet with a variety of fruits, vegetables, spices, and fibers. And the best part, just stir into their food and you're done. It's that easy. Go to drfidos.com and subscribe now to save $20 each month. Vet developed, dog trusted. This is the human grade dog food topper that gives you peace of mind. Don't just take our word for it.
She's an Australian cattle dog on the farm. She's been used to work cattle and lots of miles under her feet, and she is happier on the Dr. Fido's. I've been super impressed with it.
Don't let your dog miss out. Go to drfidos.com today and subscribe now to save $20 each month. That's drphytos.com.
Find us at 9890theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Donald Trump is raising concerns that his administration's agenda is being blocked by federal district judges who issue nationwide injunctions against some of his policies. Some Trump supporters want the U.S. Supreme Court to rein in such injunctions, but in an interview today on the Salem Radio Network, Wisconsin State Supreme Court candidate Brad Schimmel is advocating caution.
It's better to let the issues develop in the lower courts. The lawyers can file some briefs. The judges there can examine evidence and affidavits. Do that in a more deliberate way so that by the time the case gets to the Supreme Court, the issues will be more narrowed. They'll be identified. The evidence will be more focused. That's the preferred way to do it. I think on this one, they're probably going to take their time. And this is a huge legal issue.
Judge Schimmel made his observations on the Chris Stegall show earlier today.
Also at townhall.com, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says he will not resign his post despite pressure from some of the party after he voted to move forward with Republican spending legislation that avoided a government shutdown. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has that report.
Look, I'm not stepping down. Schumer said in an interview with NBC's Meet the Press that aired Sunday. The New York senator's move has sparked outrage from some Democrats and progressive activists who protested at Schumer's office, calling him to resign his position. They have pushed for him to face a primary challenge, perhaps from New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Opening statement set to begin in the bribery trial of Nadine Menendez. That's the wife of prison-bound former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez. The 58-year-old Nadine Menendez was originally scheduled to go to trial last year along with her husband, but a breast cancer diagnosis and surgery led to a delay in her case. The trial's opening is scheduled for today. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Partly sunny, it'll be a windy afternoon, a high today at 55. Clear to partly cloudy tonight and a low 35. Clouds for tomorrow, the high 50, and then clouds to shower in the area for tomorrow night. It'll be a cold evening, low 29. For Wednesday, clouds in the morning, partly sunny for the afternoon, high Wednesday at 49. And then clouds on Thursday and Friday, high Thursday 56, Friday's high at 65. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Patriots, an event you don't want to miss. March 28th and 29th, Stay Awake America Tour, Delaware, Ohio. Experience the electrifying Christian rock band Casper McLeod, plus 21 powerhouse mega speakers. 2 days where music, health, and action collide to unite and engage America to stay awake. Limited seating, don't delay. Get your tickets today. Text 786-520-7876. 786-520-7876. Be a part of the movement. Stay awake, America. It's time. America needs you.
SRN Sports, I'm George Williams. In the NCAA men's college basketball tournament, some exciting finishes, including top-seeded Florida in its bracket, defeating the defending national champion UConn Huskies by only 2 points, 77-75. By only a point, Maryland beat Colorado State 72-71. Arizona, a winner over Oregon in the final minute of its game late last night, 87-83. Elsewhere, top-seed Duke, a winner over Baylor. Kentucky defeats Illinois. Alabama, a winner over St. Mary's. In an upset, Ole Miss defeated Iowa State, and Michigan State defeated New Mexico. So your Sweet 16 this coming week sets up this way. In the East, top seed Duke against Arizona and BYU against Alabama. In the South, top seed Auburn against Michigan. Ole Miss plays Michigan State. In the West, top seed Houston will play Purdue, last year's runner-up. Kentucky plays Tennessee. In the West, top seed Florida plays Maryland. Arkansas plays Texas Tech. This is SRN Sports. NBA action last night in the East. The two top teams won. The Cavaliers, winners over the Jazz, and the Celtics beat the Trailblazers. In the West, the split finish. The Thunder, winners over the Clippers by only 2 points, 103-101, but the Nuggets defeated the Rockets, causing the Rockets to lose a game to the Thunder in the NBA West. Elsewhere, Pistons defeated the Pelicans, Hawks over the 76ers, Heat beat the Hornets, and the Spurs, winners over the Raptors. In NHL play, a shootout had the Panthers defeating the Penguins 4-3. Blackhawks, winners over the Flyers. Sabres beat the Jets. Blues defeated the Predators. It was the Golden Knights over the Lightning. Hurricanes beat the Ducks, and the Kings beat the Bruins. In golf's Valspar Championship, Victor Hovland, the winner by a shot over Justin Thomas at 11 under par. In NASCAR racing, the Straight Talk Wireless 400 in Miami, the checkered flag goes to Kyle Larson. In second place was Alex Bowman, and the third place finisher, Bubba Wallace. This is SRN Sports.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded. This is a special alert to all Americans who...
Back when I first came to the Congress of the House, I helped form the Progressive Caucus. We had 5 people in it at that time. Now they got close to 100. So you got a whole lot of good people. Alexandria is extraordinary.
You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-840-1546 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-840-1546 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-840-1546 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-840-1546 to see if your car qualifies. 800-840-1546. That's 800-840-1546. Again, 800-840-1546. Coverage varies by plans. New contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Welcome in to hour number 2 of the Bruce Hooley Show. And we had an action-packed, fun